really important that we make sure that we make the most of the database or all the names and the contacts that we've ever collected so that we're not missing any opportunities. One of the biggest challenges that we're going to have is waste. And the more that we can help people who we already know, we've already started to build those relationships. And for that reason, I brought along David Letizia. Hey, David, how are you going?
Kevin, how you going? Yeah, good.
I'm going excellent. Now, David and I have known each other 4 years, and David has helped me out and continues to do so. So what I would like to do is get David to tell you a little bit about himself and his particular business. So, David, tell us a little bit about your background.
Sure. Look, I'm a reformed engineer. I did 30 years odd in corporate land, and I ended up at the end of that as a business development manager, submissions manager for a large company, and the biggest or the last contract we won was called the NBN rollout, which was the initial NBN rollout. So
I've heard about that thing. Yeah,
it was working well when I was there. It was fibre only, and it was actually done properly. But anyway,
so is it your fault that it's not working as well now? Like you left, so now it couldn't work as well.
Mate, there's a whole history about it, and one of the problems was there was a whole lot of Optus people running the design side of it, and they didn't know what they were doing.
We won't go too much into that.
Oh yeah, we shouldn't go there. It's a bit of a sore point for me. But anyway, look, the key thing there was in those roles that I only had a handful of clients, and it was absolutely key that I kept the clients that I had. They were $1 million contracts. I couldn't afford to lose them, so I became very good at sort of working with my existing customers and my existing contacts, and making sure that I kept that business. So
fantastic. And you've got here a model. Yes, you have utilised somebody else's model. Like all the best ideas in the world, we've borrowed them from someone else. You work with Digital Marketer in relation to what you do, and I know that. We've attended the Digital Marketer Down Under conference a few years ago. So there is so much information out there, and I've got to say, you listen to 5 different digital marketing specialists, and they're all telling you 5 different things. How do you make sense of it all?
Well, the thing is that different techniques work for different businesses. It depends on the type of business, the age of the business, where you are in the sort of the life cycle, what sort of contacts you already have. Like a startup's quite different from a mature business. And all those things mean that there's different channels and different processes that are going to work for you. But this digital marketer process works for any business. It just depends on where you start. Where do you start in that process to get the best return for your business right now?
Yeah, so they just may start at different positions. I can't tell if people could see my mouse. Can you see my mouse on the screen there?
I can't, no.
No, that's okay. But it starts at awareness. So it actually does start with people that you don't even know. So, and if you've got a database that you haven't spoken to for a while, that's kind of where you're going to need to start, isn't it?
Well, it is. Look, if people can see the 8-step chart, it sort of makes a lot of sense if you can see it clearly. So I don't know if you're going to make it available.
I'll see if I can take if I take myself off the screen, then you won't hear me either. So I can't do that.
Oh, okay. Well, look, basically what it says is there's actually 8 steps to a life cycle of a customer, and if you have those 8 steps, you don't need to start at number 1 if you already have people that you know. So if you've met people at events, if you've got referrals from someone, you actually can start at step 3 or 4. You don't have to start at step number 1. So step number 1 is the expensive bit. That's your Facebook ads and your Google ads and any sort of promotion that you're doing to bring in brand new leads into your business. And if you're after instant business or you're after quick new sales, that's not the place to start. If you've got a database, you've got existing people that you work with, don't start there. Start with the people that you already know. And
excellent. And that's what we were talking about before we came on air is we do have people that we've met that, actually liked us. They liked us enough to give us their business card, and yet so many people have big piles of them, in the back drawer or maybe even the back cupboard, because they've got that many of them, but they haven't been utilising these. So it's really important to be reaching out and talking to that database. So in that situation, so that first box is doing campaigns and running advertising campaigns and promotions and making sure that more people are becoming aware of who you are. So what's the second step?
Well, if you just talked about those people who've given you their business cards, I don't know if you can see the screen clearly enough, but it's actually the third box. The third box across is subscribe, and that's where you typically get someone's details. If you've tried a lead magnet or you've tried some sort of process online, and finally they give you their email address, or they connect with you on LinkedIn, or they do something on Facebook. That's actually the third step. So if someone's given you their business card, you've actually eliminated the first two steps. You're actually ready to start communicating with them. And I guess the process is not to try and sell something straight away, but just to find out if there's some connection that you can bring forward, if there's some way you can work together. So those people are definitely people that you should be talking to. Even if you just reach out and say, hey, g'day, met you at such and such. We're looking to expand our business, or we're looking to help more clients. Is there some way we can help you? And here's what we do. Like something simple like that is the process to follow.
Okay, so what you're saying, so we've already got their details. So yes, they are in our database, but maybe we're actually going back to the engagement box at that stage, and we're putting out some information to reconnect, to re-engage, to find out a little bit more about exactly who they are. Is that correct?
That's right. So if you haven't actually talked to them, obviously you need to do that. If you have been talking to them, if they're on your newsletter list, or they're on some list where you regularly talk to them, then you can go the next step, which is perhaps to put an offer to them, or to actually try and introduce some product or service to them. It's important not to go to that straight away, and that's a lot of people get pissed off when they give someone a business card, and the first thing that happens is they're trying to be sold to.
It's that horrible LinkedIn strategy of someone connecting with me, and then the very first email I get is, hey, you probably need everything I can do for you.
Buy my program. Buy my program now.
I've got to say, I'm not a big fan. I kind of have been avoiding LinkedIn a lot because of that much spam coming from LinkedIn. And the lack of professionalism there. But that's just my personal viewpoint, and we're looking right now at how we can change our strategies and create a LinkedIn portal that's much more like our Facebook portal, and running it very, very similar. So that's a little bit of exciting news to everyone that are LinkedIn fans about how we may be able to do that. So we're putting an offer out eventually, or we're re-engaging first and then putting an offer out. They don't convert first time. What do we do?
Well, you just keep nurturing them. And it's basically the nature of digital marketing is you keep trying until they either buy or tell you to go away. So and the people are a bit funny. They don't like to have someone unsubscribe, or they don't like to have comments back that saying people that they're not interested. But if you don't do that, if you don't at least ask, you're never going to make any progress. And I guess, Kevin, the big thing that I wanted to introduce today, or to talk about today, and it's something that I've gone on about forever, is basically talk to your existing customers. Like if you've got a need today, like if your business has dropped off and you've got a critical need today to get new business in the door, to keep things going, talk to your existing customers. It's great to get the business cards out of the drawer and try and reconnect with people who you haven't done business with before, but that's not where you should start. You should definitely start with your existing customers. If they bought product A from you and the normal progression is product ABC, then you should talk to them about product A and say, hey, by the way, most people normally buy product B and C, and right now we've got plenty of capacity to implement that for you straight away. If they bought product C and the next thing out of that is a warranty upgrade, an upsell, a cross-sell or whatever, then offer them that. So, that's the beauty of having a segmented database. If you've got a database and you know what everyone's bought and you know what the next thing is you'd probably likely be to sell to those people, or what they'd likely need, then you can easily offer that. So, someone's bought product A and B, then you offer a product C, for instance.
Fantastic. So if we were to look at Brisbane small business in this sort of case, our actual Facebook page would be the awareness side of it, yeah?
Well, it's sort of, yes, it is. It is definitely awareness because people can sign up through there. But it's also an engagement process as well. Like your Facebook page does several steps in the process, because when people become aware of you, they look at the page and they ask to join. Well, that's actually subscribing. So you've actually done 2 or 3 steps there.
Can I say yes or no? Because Mark Zuckerberg doesn't give me anyone's email address.
But then you can ask for it.
He's very selfish like that. There are ways that we can ask for it, and there's different strategies around that. Absolutely. However, we wanted to be more open. We took the decision to be. We looked at whether we would do that a long time ago, and decided that just wasn't how we wanted to help people, whether they wanted to give us their email address or not. And we're very comfortable with that idea. So to me, the group is actually the awareness structure, because then they can see that, hey, yeah, we are serious about helping people, and we're doing the best we can, and there is lots of engagement there, and it's about creating engagement with us as a business, because that's what we're doing. So it's about putting the right lead magnets in to help people move up to convert people to coming and joining the directory and putting some information on, so that we can all do business more easily. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. And that process of actually asking people to join the directory, that's actually your conversion stage. So that's your first conversion stage. But you have done things in the past where you've asked people to sign up to come to a presentation on Eventbrite, or through another platform. You ran some events where people had to come through. Well, you obviously got their contact details through that process. So there are other conversion strategies, I guess, to get people into the fold. And then once you've got them, then it's about, well, what value can I add to their business next? How can we work together to make sure they get great value, you get some more income, and the whole process of business works. And that's that ladder that's at the left-hand side of that document.
So in the centre here, the Excite phase, would you say that's where you're running different webinars, or you're running something for free, like before, like when somebody isn't a customer yet? So the convert is getting their email, getting them to come along to an event where you can get them excited about spending a little bit more. Would that be correct?
Yes, and it repeats, so because you have to do the same thing. The Excite is trying to get someone to take up your offer, basically. That's what it really is about. And that's why the arrow comes back into that box, because every time they subscribe or they buy something, then the next time you want them to buy something else, you have to get them interested again and make the next purchase, basically. So you keep cycling through that whole process. Once you've got them subscribed, once you've converted them once and they've given you their details, then every time you want to run an offer, that's what you're doing.
Fantastic. So yeah, so I can see missing links there already. You've actually helped me understand where part of my missing link is. I'm not running enough webinars.
Well, that's one thing. But you're probably not putting enough offers too, because once people are in the directory, it's about, well, then how do they get more value out of it, and how do you then progress to? Well, I think you are actually running some of those things. You're actually looking at having a group of people who are on the directory provide services for other people, and that's part of the value add. It's just I'm not sure. Yeah,
and that's what'll help people move across to from this ladder that we've got here through into the advocacy stage, because as they're having success with the tools that they've been given, then they are going to be speaking that, hey, this was a cool opportunity. Yeah,
that's right. Exactly. And when those people recommend people to join the directory or to join Brisbane Small Business, then you've skipped those first couple of steps, because they're already I guess engaged. They already know about you. And when they come in, it's like getting a referral for new business from someone in your networking group. You skip those first couple of stages because they're already a warm lead.
Fantastic. So this does explain this. You actually have a program, a very short one-on-one program where you help people with this type of thing. Are you looking at doing this sort of thing en masse, like in this new world of, we can't go out and actually shake hands with anyone? Are you looking at creating some webinars around this sort of thing and helping people understand this in a much more detailed way?
Yeah, I actually did one this morning, actually, for a networking group. And I've got a couple programmed for the ASBAS process that I'm part of, that Australian Small Business Advisory Service.
Yeah.
And I've been doing sort of elements of it, but not in a one sort of session, because there's probably 3 different areas in this whole process. And right now, I think the biggest one is actually trying to get business quickly. And getting business quickly is not about putting Facebook ads out or Google ads or whatever, because that's a long-term process. People need to come through your funnel basically before they're going to buy. The only place really you can tap into getting quick new business is your existing database, your existing customers, and existing contacts you've already been talking to.
I almost agree with you there. Yes, and right. So, and his view, and here's something that we haven't talked enough about, is that with the listing that you do have in the directory, you can put some content pieces in that you can share across for the community, which will help you with both that awareness, engagement, and subscription phases if you do that right. So we'll chat a bit more about your strategy there offline a little bit later on. But with that, David is great at helping people identify these particular steps. I know that as we were launching the directory, David gave away a one-on-one session where he helped someone do this. The person who he helped was Fred Porter. Fred from Agent Digital actually understands all this stuff really, really well. But when he was trying to look at his own business, everything just got confused and muddled. And so having that third party, I know Fred walked out of there just singing your praises, David. He said, it was just so simple. And I was just tripping over the bloody obvious and not seeing it. And so, that's a great reason to use someone else in that capacity to help you to get more stuff. David has an engineering background. From that perspective, he is really good at that strategizing and how things fit together. And that's really what marketing is all about. It's actually putting the pieces in the right place, the pieces of the puzzle in the right place, so it fits more harmoniously and you can get a more streamlined result. So thanks very much for your support today, David.
All right. Thank you, Kevin.
You'll put a link down below of where people can download this information.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Of course, you're going to capture their leads, their content as they do that, yes?
Yes.
I'm encouraging everyone to do their own business best. And David is an absolute expert at this. So thanks very much for your time. I really do appreciate it. And I hope everybody has learnt something from our quick little interview today. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Kevin.
All I've got to do is find that off button. Bye now.